If I told you that I was the last person standing on earth and I gave you this concrete evidence and enough evidence to prove it, you would believe me. That's the power of the subconscious mind. You see, right now I'm at work. There's nobody around me. There's nobody sitting to my left. There's nobody sitting to my right. There's nobody in the store. I can tell you that I'm the last person left on earth, and I can make this video seem like I am the last person standing on this planet. With the mixture of what I say, what I show you, how I act, and the concrete evidence that I have to back it up. I don't have my thoughts together. I could have been sitting there recording those clips for 10 hours. I could have been sitting there for 5 hours, and I could have been sitting there for 2. I could have switched positions every 5 minutes, but you would never know which one of those scenarios happened because you can only see what I show you. That's why you have to be careful what you take in. I feel like life is like really dangerous because everybody's life is a perception. Everybody's life is a perspective. Everybody who knows you, even family members of yours, has a different perspective of you. If you think about it, nobody really knows nothing. Like, we don't even know who we are because we care so much about our family's perspective of us. But like, how many perspectives are you showing up as every day? Because everyone's perspective is different. I found myself getting in arguments with people because they tell me, oh, Naya, you look too deep into stuff. But literally, like, your subconscious is a deep thing. Your subconscious is deep. In order to unlock and unpack the whys of everything, you have to look deep. People think that I'm trying to argue. They think that I'm trying to be right. And most of the time I am right. I've realized that I can access the subconscious as easily as you access your conscious mind. Like when I ask why, I don't mean the surface why. I mean the deep-rooted, filthy, nitty-gritty why. Ever since I was like 7 years old, I asked my mom, why? When I actually watched this movie about subconscious, I forgot the name of it, but I'll put it right here on the screen when I find the name. That's literally why I question and I ask why. I want to understand, but people are just so used to being surface level because so many people are so afraid of being deep. I do every day what you pay $1,000 a month for in therapy. Because if everybody just looked deep within and understood their why and asked why and understood why, people are so secretive. People are so scared of everybody knowing the true them. The quicker you understand the true version of yourself, the more you can show up as yourself. And no, not everybody is gonna like you. To some people, I'm nice. To some people, I'm mean. To some people, I'm funny. To some people, I'm not funny. But that's because everybody has their own perspective. You can't control people's perceptions of you. The only thing you can control is being yourself. And if you sit around trying to be everybody's perception of you, you will exhaust yourself because you're playing over 1,000 different roles. Literally, everybody looks at you differently. Everybody has their own idea of you in their head. You can't show up as an idea. You can only show up as who you are. And who are you? You're not gonna know that until you understand the why, until you get into that subconscious. Your subconscious does not have to be this deep thing that you have to dig through. Like, yes, when you're first starting, but like, honestly, it just takes self-honesty. It takes a level of discipline. It takes a level of understanding with yourself. Like, if you sit with yourself, when you are sad or you're mad or you're having an emotion, you should sit down and ask yourself why 5 times. Because on the 5th time, you'll get to the real why. And let me give you an example. If a kid came up to you and they were like, I like those chips. Why did that kid say that? Because that kid wanted some of your chips. That kid did not say they like those chips just to say they like those chips. But if they were being surface level and you asked that child, oh yeah, okay, well, why did you say that? They'd be like, because I like those chips. But we know that the subconscious reason behind what they said, the thought process that took place before they spoke what they spoke, was because they want some of your food. But instead of just speaking that they want some, they said, oh, I like those. I like those, and saying I want some mean the same thing to surface level people. But for me, if that child said, ooh, I like those kind of chips, I'd be like, okay. Well, if you want some, all you have to do is ask. And people take that as, oh my God, you're so argumentative. I just know what you meant. Like, don't sugarcoat. Don't beat around the bush. Like, just ask. Like, not to the kid, but to the kid. I remember it was a scene in the movie. The whole movie was about us to travel inside of people's dreams, their subconscious. Like, the whole thing that they did in this movie was hack people's subconscious mind. There was one part in the movie where they said the reason why they do this is because in order to plant a seed in somebody's head, you have to plant a seed small enough to make the person believe that the idea came from them.
You still working with that stick in the mud?
He's good at what he does, right?
Oh, he's the best. He has no imagination.
Not like you.
Listen, if you're going to perform Inception, you need imagination. We tried it. We got the idea in place, but it didn't take.
You didn't plant it deep enough?
No, it's not just about depth. You need the simplest version of the idea in order for it to grow naturally in your subject's mind. It's a very subtle art.
And that would explain a lot of reasons why different shows, different commercials, all plant subliminal seeds, tiny seeds, small enough to make you believe that that idea came from you. That's how you learn how to manipulate. That's how you learn how to control. Because if you can control a person to make them think that these ideas are coming from themselves, they will not believe that they are being manipulated or controlled. They will believe that this is what they genuinely want to do. Whew. Basically, the subconscious mind is very sensitive. It's easily manipulated if you don't have it under control. And the only way you have it under control is if you stop being scared to get inside. All these singers, all these rappers, subliminally, subconsciously getting inside of your mind. You don't have access to your own. You're believing that these ideas came from you because you don't know who you are. You don't even know what your inner thoughts sound like, because your inner thoughts, your inner demons come from other people's opinions of you, and you take them in and claim them as your own. So of course, if you claim everybody's insecurities as your own thoughts, then of course you claim their ideas as your ideas, because it's easy to plant a seed inside of you. And that's why people these days get mad at people who are smart and think for themselves, and people who are conspiracy theorists, because they genuinely feel like you're speaking blabber. If you found somebody in the dark for 30 years and you turned the light on and you brought them outside into the sunlight, it will hurt their eyes. But that's only because they've been in the dark so long. People are going to start calling you crazy. People are going to start calling you weird. People are going to start calling you argumentative. You might lose some friends. And that's just because people want to be surface level. So many people walk around saying, I don't have a meaning in life. I don't know the meaning behind my life. If you genuinely want meaning behind your life, then you need to find out who you are behind these seeds that people have planted. Even the enemy knows if he plants a seed small enough, it'll grow into a big tree of ideas that you thought came from you. Now the tree has so many fruit. You know what happens to a tree once it grows fruit? When the fruit drops on the ground, the seeds replant and the tree keeps growing. So what if you planted seeds that came from your own mind, your own ideas? What if you planted seeds of your own ideology, of your own confidence, of your own ideas, of your own thoughts, and you let that tree grow into a big juicy life, and you let that tree grow into a fruit tree? And society tried to come inside, plant seeds inside of your mind and chop down your fruit tree. They wouldn't be able to. When they chop the tree down, your fruit is gonna fall to the ground, and when your fruit falls, it's gonna regrow. That's how they keep the cycle of control going. I hope you're following me here. I'm not really sure I don't even know what else to say about this subconscious stuff. All I know is these were just my thoughts. You don't have to listen to me. I'm just saying, maybe if we, started worrying about implanting our own ideas and our own seeds, and if we grew our own ideas, we would not have to worry about the control and manipulation of other people. And maybe you wouldn't be so easily molded, easily conformed to things and people who make you conform to things they want you to conform to, because that's what master manipulators know how to do. Now, I hope the wrong people don't get this video and it goes into their hands, because that would be very depressing, because that's not the reason why I'm recording this video. I'm not recording this video so you can use it and manipulate your friends or your girlfriend or your boss. So you can use this for the betterment of you. I'm putting faith in you to use this for the betterment of humanity instead of for the control of the population, because you're never going to have control. That's what Satan does. And he's never gonna have control. You can't control nobody's life but yours. So focus on controlling you. Focus on controlling and getting your life straight, getting your life together. I'm telling you, once you understand these principles, you will be unstoppable. Nobody's gonna be able to talk you into or talk you out of things, because the fruit tree is being nurtured by your knowledge, and it came from your knowledge. You didn't get tricked into thinking it was your knowledge. It genuinely came from your knowledge. Even if somebody planted a tree and it didn't actually come from you. If I dig up a fruit tree and put it in your yard, yes, the tree will grow, but I can always uproot it from the ground and plant it back. But if you grew a tree with seeds from your hands, you planted it inside of your yard, inside of your garden, and it grew, that is that tree's home. So that tree will always miss home. That tree will always remember where home is, which is your mind. Nobody's gonna be able to stop you once you understand that your subconscious mind is accessible. You just gotta stop being afraid to dig deep enough to get to it. Mic drop. That's all I gotta say, but I'm just 9J. You don't have to listen to nothing that I say. Educate so that we don't generate my lost generations.